Good morning, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I hope everyone out there has a happy and safe 4th of July weekend. Today, Sunday, July 2nd, we are going to continue working on this Kawasaki KX125 behind me. There's not a whole lot left to do on that motorcycle. We just got the triple trees and the front forks, and there's a little skid plate that goes underneath the engine. We got to get that out of there as well. Just finish taking this thing apart, and that'll be pretty much it for the teardown. And then we can start rebuilding this machine. It's going to take a little bit more time to put everything back together than disassembling. Got to get parts and a lot of other stuff for it. But stick with us, and we will get back to work on it. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. The first thing we're going to want to do is loosen up these top pieces here for the forks. It's better to do them while they're still inside the clamps. I've watched some other videos from some folks that had stuff about these on YouTube, and they always say to take, because once these fork tubes are off, trying to hold on to those to break these bolts loose is going to be pretty impossible. Wasn't too bad. All right, that was loose as well. And for these two bolts, they are both 19 millimeter is what those are there. So these are loose, so now we can go ahead and disassemble the rest of this front end. Get these tubes out of here. The tubes look to be in pretty good shape. Buy new seals and everything for them, put all new fluid in them, and get these top caps off. This stuff doesn't have to be done until the actual front end and everything's already torn down, and then you take all that stuff apart when you're rebuilding them. Alright, so that bolt that holds the triple trees into the headset there is a 1.25" socket, so we're going to break that guy loose. And then these bolts here for the triple tree clamps, these are all a 12 millimeter, so we'll get all this stuff all broken apart. Thing's about ready to come off that stand. Make sure that's repositioned. Alright. I think I need that extension on there. That one's loose. 4 of them on each side. One will break loose there. Alright, so all those 12 millimeters on these triple clamps are all, triple trees are all busted loose. Now let's work on this 1.25" bolt. Alright, let's see what's the best way to get a hold of this guy. Hold everything so it don't crash into the ground. That wasn't too bad. A little bit tight, not too bad. Okay, all that's torn apart now. There's that 1.25" nut that holds that top, the triple tree on there, triple clamp. There is one washer, and that looks like it's about it. Now, how much pain is that going to be to get these fork tubes out of here? I have no idea. I've never done this before. Get out of there. Bring out my hands here. It is working. Backed off. Alright, there's part of it off of there. Cool. Looks like there's another kind of a spanner type fastener on here. Tubes to the side. Let's see if that's the case. Just using a big flathead screwdriver on it. That does seem to be loosening up, so that's good. Still a little tight. Okay. There's the top bearing. Oh, that's pretty crazy. So these tools out of the way so I don't trip over them. That wouldn't be good. Alright, now we're gonna see what we can do about pull that bearing out. Set that off to the side over here on top of the paint can. Okay, so now, without dropping anything, okay. Oh. There. Okay. Alright, we're going to put some of these parts back here on so we don't lose them. Put this bearing, we're going to slide back on there. That bottom bearing down here is trying to pull up on it and it just seems like it's stuck on there pretty good, so I don't want to force it too much. Just don't want to lose these parts, so I'll put them right back on here, and that way they can't get lost. Alright. And then down here, on the bottom, down there at the bottom of the fork, that brake, there's an 8mm bolt that is holding this line in place. So I'm gonna get that off there. So we're gonna get that whole assembly off there. Okay, I'll just leave that bracket there, but it's good enough. And that fender's holding that front end from falling over, so I got leave all of this stuff all attached. The brake caliper. This cable definitely needs to be replaced. This front brake line, it's pretty well destroyed from UV rays being outside and whatnot. Master cylinder, get all rebuilt and all that fun stuff. I had to figure out how to get these fork tubes out of this bottom part of this triple tree here. It's still a bit tight. Let's loosen it. Pull these bolts completely out, and I get a screwdriver in there to pry these tubes apart. That'll make it a little easier to take and spread these apart a little bit more to release the bottom of that triple tree off that fork tube. That's some 8mm bolts that hold this fender on underneath here. One of them's missing, so there's 3 of them that are left. I'll get all those pulled out. I'll show you what they look like. It's hard to get that camera down there to that angle to look up underneath here. That one might be missing too. Looks like I missed it out there. So the other one, 3 out of 4 still in there. That's what those look like. They'll hold those fenders up there. That little 8mm bolt. One of them. It is hot today. Today in Phoenix is supposed to be 115 degrees. That extreme heat has finally caught up to us. We had great weather for the longest time. I think June was pretty much about the coolest June we've ever had on record. It was, I don't know if there was even one day that even made it above 110 degrees. There's that fender's off now. And then these are the 3 fasteners that were there. There's one of them that's missing. So we'll just deal with that later. These bolts, I want to put them back in where they go, so I don't lose them. Alright, that's got the motorcycle almost completely torn apart. That stuff there I don't really need to really concern too much about until I start getting stuff ready to be put back together. There's the front tire, the forks, the frame, that swing arm, and then there's the engine over there on the ground. All torn apart, ready to start being rebuilt. Got another project coming up here shortly. We gotta do some maintenance on a Kawasaki Terex 2-seater side by side. Do an oil change and get it all cleaned up and put it back into the toy hauler. This is the Terex right here. It's a mess right now because I was just out doing some scouting, and this is just some little bit of stuff coming off of the motorcycle when I was tearing it apart, nuts and bolts and some other stuff. But I'm gonna climb up underneath there and do the old oil change and service on it, new filter and everything. I'll make a video on that coming up here shortly. Just putting this light bar up here on the front. And then I've got these mounts right here. I got to make a piece that comes off, drill, put a bolt here, and then flatten out. And then I can put my little spotlights. I'm gonna put these guys up here, and I want to angle them off a little bit so they're not shining right in front like where the headlights are, but a little bit off to the side. Just more visibility at night driving. Some other projects I'm working on. There's a little kit that I'm building. It's a little teardrop trailer. The whole teardrop is built. It's just I need to sand the whole thing down again, and I got to put a couple, probably another couple of layers of epoxy on it, and then I gotta take and put some sun protector on it. I think I'm gonna do some varnish to keep that natural wood, because it's a kit that comes from CLC Teardrop. They're a boat builder that's from the East Coast, and they build kits for like kayaks and all kinds of watercraft. And then they came up with this teardrop that'll hold a queen-sized mattress in it. But I can't wait to get that thing finished up and get it out and start using it. Most of it's built. It's just, and then this piece over here, this is going to be something that trailer or the teardrop's going to sit on top of that. And then where those holes are towards the front, the big square holes, those are going to be like laundry areas. There's going to be holes cut in the floor of the teardrop to access into that bottom to put all your camping equipment and stuff in. There's going to be a slide out drawer on the back of it. That'll be pretty cool. And I got this old, it's a Honda Spree scooter that needs a starter. I got to get that thing fixed up. That'll be a project I'm going to be working on here shortly as well. This little thing here, this side by side, is a lot of fun. It's a 2019. It's dirty. I was out scouting and just out in the desert and looking around before it got too hot. Put my gun racks back here to when I was up elk hunting here a while back. my shop needs to be cleaned up pretty bad. It's kind of a mess right now. A lot of things going on. All right, guys, I think that's probably going to be a wrap for today. Got a lot of stuff accomplished today. I got the little bit more torn apart on that motorcycle back here, and showed you some other stuff I'm going to be working on here coming up before too long. My teardrop trailer over there, and got to do some maintenance on the side-by-side and get it cleaned up. It's a mess right now, but slowly getting there. Just a lot of projects going on right now. Can't wait to get back out fishing on that pontoon boat. My wife's working on the weekends, and that was my fishing compadre. I'm off on the weekends and she's working, so that doesn't work out too good, but we'll get it figured out and we'll get back out there and we'll do some more fishing videos coming up before too much, sometime this summer. But all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos that I'm going to be posting, and keep up with what's going on here in Arizona outdoors. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.